What is going on with the... There we go. Goodness sake. Because I can totally work a camera. All right. How's it going? Welcome in. I am just chilling. Hey, Lori, welcome in. So I am having to make some spell jars for my shop. So I figured I'll get on here and chat with everybody and we'll make them together. All of my spell jars come with their ingredients and what they are for. So that's what we're doing today. I need to replenish that. How's everybody doing? Completely not planned. Right? I love making spell jars too. They're just so fun and they're meditative for me. So I got all of these jars randomly. Some I got at Walmart. I believe I got these with the little necklace hooks at Walmart. I think I got a pack of 6 for $4 or something. Hey, Nutmeg! I know, I wasn't planning on going live, but I figure, why don't I take you along with me? This is something that can be fun for everybody, just to hang out and chill. Nothing too crazy. So which one do you guys want to see be made first? I've got a love one to do, prosperity to do, calming one to do, and a protection one to do. So what I like to do when I am setting up to make all of this stuff, I group all of my stuff in order so I can just instantly go to it. I have different sizes of spell jars because I sell different sizes, different kinds, and I group them to make them all accessible. Prosperity? Okay, you got it. We'll do that one first. Everybody can do a little bit need a little bit more prosperity. So then what I've got on the table are my herbs, and then I've got my crystals, my bottles, and I also have my sealing wax that I use to seal the bottles. With something like the necklace bottles, I take the jewelry glue and glue it closed first and then put the wax on, because sometimes the wax will break, so we don't want that. And if I don't respond to your comment right away, it's because I'm totally on my phone and not using any setup. So the chat will go up and I got to scroll back down. So I do apologize. Oh my gosh, I absolutely collect all the jars I can. Hi, Dianera. Welcome in. Hi, Chantel. Hi, Ronald. Welcome in. Okay, so we're going to do prosperity. So what we need are the jars first. So let's just take all of these because they're all going to have the same ingredients. Uncork them. So I've got the bigger ones in the back. I'll do the smaller ones up front. They all have the same cork top, so I'm not worried about mixing them up. And then we'll do this wee guy over here. I'll separate him. All right. So in all of my spell jars, I have my passed on chickens. They're eggshells. So, I mean, you don't have to have your own chickens to use eggshells. You can literally use any eggshells you have, just as long as you wash them out and you dry the eggshells. So you want to make sure that they're clean and dry before you utilize them in any kind of spell work. And then I crush them up with a mortal and pestle. And everything that I do is very intuitive. I don't measure. I just kind of go with the vibe to where I feel like I need to stop. And that's why I have a tray, because I did that. So you don't need a lot of eggshells, but I like to cover the bottom, the base of the spell jar, because this allows for grounding and protection as well. So luckily I was able to, I still have a big old thing of eggshells too that I have in my pantry of all places. All right. So next we're gonna add some basil. Make sure I'm not missing anybody's stuff. An old-timey apothecary. I love it. Yeah, we had chickens and they were the love of our life, except so we got them and everything was fine weather-wise, and then all of a sudden it just kept getting increasingly hot and they didn't fare too well with the heat, as well as there was a bird flu that went around. So we weren't aware that they were getting any kind of sick or anything of the sort. We just were, you know, like, oh my gosh, they're just hot. They're having a hard time out here. So, you know, fans, ice, all that stuff, it wasn't helping them. And my sister is, she works in a vet, and so she's knowledgeable about a lot of things. And she's like, well, you know that bird flu's going around. A lot of our clients with birds are dealing with it. We've had a lot of chickens come in. And I was like, oh God. So needless to say, after one went, then they all went. But, you know, they got us through the panini with the eggs, and we were very grateful for them. And hopefully in the future, we might be able to have chickens. But with this weather and the internal heat that we keep getting, it's just not healthy for them. So we would never want to put an animal in harm's way. So I miss having chickens. Fresh eggs, there's nothing like fresh eggs. Hi, Lady D, welcome in. Hi, Comfy Cozy Lunar. Yes, a surprise stream. Wasn't planning on going live, so you never know when I'm going to pop up. So we put basil in for success, peace, and abundance, because this is a prosperity spell jar. Next, we're going to put in some clove. Where are my cloves? And again, this is kind of like an intuitive thing. You put in what feels right for you. I typically put in things of 3. I love the way that the cloves smell. But with the smaller mini jars, I just put in 1, because with everything that I want to put in it, I have to be very selective with how much I put in. I typically pack my spell jars to the brim. You get a lot of bang for your buck, literally. I think I sell, yeah, I sell the bigger ones for $1.50 or $2, and then I sell these little tiny ones for $1. All right, so cloves are for abundance and new beginnings. And next we're going to do a bay leaf, because we want to manifest, we want abundance and success. And with the leaves, obviously, you cannot put the whole thing in, so I just kind of crack them up and go with the flow. A cracked bay leaf smells so good. And my husband was a gem and found sugar-free pumpkin spice creamer, coffee creamer for me today. So I'm very stoked to have that in the morning, because I did not get on the PSL train yesterday. It is officially pumpkin spice season. All right. Next, we're going to do mint. Mint is for prosperity, joy, and success. And this is actually mint that I grew. So even though it says, I'm reusing the jar, basically. Come on, get up in there. This is why I like to do it all in bulk, because it's a mess. And a lot of the ingredients I use interchangeably with the different bottles. So you'll see a lot of basil and bay and clove being used. Because the great thing about herbs and ingredients, especially when it comes to plants, is that they can be used for a lot of different things. And of course, I'm not using my mortar and pestle, because why when you have hands? So these pigeons like to sit on our roof, and you can hear them cooing. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up with the phone mic, but they're currently cooing right now. It's very soothing, but when it first started happening, it scared the daylights out of me, because I'm like, where is that coming from? What is going on? Oh, where is my toothpick? I usually have a little toothpick that I like to poke in the ingredients. Aha! Keep one around. Not me rattling things. All right. Guys, I am so loving that simile. I love that show. They're different intentions. So this one's prosperity. We're going to do a calming one, and we're going to do love and protection. So I don't know if I'll be streaming all that long, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how my phone holds up. Hi, Aurora. Welcome in. All right, so we did mint. Now we're going to do the chamomile or the chamomile. So depending on the size of the spell jar, some of them I will do the blossom, and the other ones get like the crushed up part of the flower, because again, I'm packing a lot of ingredients in one jar, so I kind of have to be selective about what I'm putting in. And I'm just realizing I got distracted and didn't cleanse the jars before doing this, so we'll do that after I put these in. So you can see there's a difference between the blossom and then the little leaf parts there. So for the smaller ones, we're going to do the crushed up parts, if I can get to it. And we have a tray here simply because your girl is messy and we don't want to waste product. So what ends up happening is all of the product that is here goes in my money bowl. So that is something I highly recommend, not wasting your ingredients. They can always be utilized in some way, shape, or form. Because, you know, money is not growing on trees today, and your dollar is not going far enough. So we want to make sure that we can get bang for the buck here. And to me, this is very calming, but it is tedious because my hands, they aren't as agile as they used to be. So for me, I get product, I say product, I get ingredients everywhere all the time. So something like this is very much needed. And you can get chamomile for really inexpensive in the tea section. So if you buy just straight chamomile tea, you can undo the packets and there's your flower. All right, so chamomile is the herb of the sun, pretty much. It is for abundance, peace, money, and healing. Oh, I love that, Lori. That's such a great idea. Move that up closer here. Okay. And the last herb that we're putting in the prosperity is the rosemary. This comes from my garden. And I don't crush this up. I just kind of shove it on in there. And with the bigger bottles, I will put a lot more product in, obviously. Oh my God, product. That retail mindset never really goes, does it? And I am aware that I am a mess when I do crafty things. When I cook, I just get in there. I like to get messy, make mistakes like Miss Frizzle. I like to get my hands dirty. I don't mind the cleanup afterward. All right, and so for the smaller ones, we just kind of shove it on in there. And you have to remember too that we're putting a cork stopper onto it, so you don't want to fill it to the brim, but fill it tight. Tight. Most things will crush anyway when you put the corn. They'll kind of smush down. How is the heat treating? Oh, I know that the heat is crazy everywhere right now. It is not fun here in California. We hates it. Okay. Oh, good job, Aurora. Oh, much fingers crossed. Good luck. That is, everybody wish her luck. She is deserving of that for sure. All right, now we come to the crystal parts. So we're going to put in aventurine, amazonite, clear quartz. I think I have some pyrite that might fit. They might only be able to fit in the big ones. So I sorted them out. Where'd they go? Here they are. All right. I'm going to finish up this bottle. Again, I just kind of put what feels good. I want to make sure that there's room for all of the stuff that I want to put in there. And again, every time you make a spell jar, at least for me, it's all about, you know, listening to your intuition and putting in what you feel works. Sometimes you put in more, sometimes you put in less. And, you know, it's all about how you feel about it. It's a personal thing. Oops, and there they all go. So I can never tell you like, oh yeah, I put like 5 of this in there. No, I don't remember. I just remember the ingredients. And every time I have to do something like this, or if I start something new, I will write everything down because like I said, everything is intuitive. So here's my big bottle of, ooh, I don't want the big ones. Maybe they will work. Let's see. Haha, success. You will fit. There we go. I can't tell you how many of the jars I have ruined because a crystal got stuck in the neck of the bottle. I'm like, no. And like force it down and it just doesn't doesn't work. So, okay, there's the amazonite or the amazonite. Now we're doing aventurine. No. There we go. So some of these will fit, some of them won't. We have to play puzzle master here. I always start off with the small ones. Make sure I at least get 1 in each bottle. Some of these do not look like green aventurine. Go on down there. Thank you. It's the dang cloves. Nope. Will it fit? That is the game we are playing. I'm trying to look into getting my wholesale license to where I can buy ingredients at cost, because definitely utilizing the ingredients, but at the same time it's like, oof, Everything is costing so much. And if I get my reseller, wholesaler, whatever license that it is, I can buy decks at cost as well. So once I review it on my channel and you guys like it, I can sell it over on Whatnot. Just trying to think of different ways to get everything accessible for everyone. Trying to, what's the word? Diversify. Diversify the assets. All right, let's do the pyrite. Oh, sorry, let me go back to the comments. Oh, I'm so glad, Adele. Welcome in. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. And then Lori, Whatnot is like eBay, but like a live stream. So you can shop for products in their section they call Buy It Now, which is like a little bin marketplace type thing like Etsy, but you also do live shows, which, you know, are like this, where we're streaming, but you can bid on an auction whilst I'm streaming. So if I'm explaining, say I'm selling you the spell jars right now, you can auction, or excuse me, bid on that auction live. And so it kind of has like the benefit of both Etsy and live streaming, which is really cool. My husband got into it as like because he does Magic the Gathering, and so he started watching all of these guys sell cards on there, and he was buying stuff, and he was like, oh man, they have crystals on here, they have, you know, handmade objects on here, you should start doing this. I was like, I don't know what I'd sell. He's like, everything that you already make. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I could. So that's how I got involved, and I love it. The community is great over there. There's a lot of people with different product. So I sell my stuff over there because the fees are not insane. Like if I were to sell my stuff on Etsy, Etsy takes so much money out for every little thing. Like it's ridiculous. So it's not worth it for me to sell my items on there. However, it is worth it to me because I don't have to worry about shipping costs when it comes to the tarot readings that I do over there. So like I'm not worried about that, but with Whatnot, you're paying for shipping and it consolidates every single time that you order something off of that one stream. So say you order, you know, 3 items, your shipping isn't going to be like $4.99 per each item. It's going to be like $4 for the whole thing, maybe a couple cents more after you order every item. So it's worth it over there for me to sell this kind of stuff. The only problem is I have to find time to stream. So I usually try to go over on Whatnot on Sundays and see how long I last over there on Sundays, because it's just an easier time for me. But yeah. Yeah, it is definitely easier to go to the person's website to buy, and just because it's gotten so crazy. Hi, Jane, welcome in. How are you? Hi, super girly. Yeah, I do typically buy a lot of patterns off of Etsy though, just because I have an account with everything. So and a lot of the times in the different crochet groups that I'm in, they will advertise their Etsy. So if they're advertising their own Etsy, I'm assuming that's where they want me to go purchase it. So that's where I go. Okay, so let me go back to what we put in. So adventuring is for prosperity, opportunities, for luck, and releasing old patterns. So when it comes to wanting to bring in more prosperity, we kind of need help with the lack mindset, right? So when we're always in the like, why me? I don't know if I can do this, or money never happens to me. I'm kind of doing this in reverse order because I forgot to do it. I got distracted. We need to have help with releasing those old patterns. We need to have help in releasing mindsets and behavioral patterns and stuff like that that don't allow us to move forward. So with the adventuring, that helps. So green adventuring specifically is what I'm using. And then we have Amazonite, which is a soother. It's something that will help with your confidence, help with your self-love, and then that in turn will draw in the wealth as well as the prosperity. If you're doing any type of spell jar, or any type of witch ball, or any type of craft, I'll say, that involves a crystal, if you don't have a particular one that you need, like if you're going off of a spell, like say you want to redo what I'm doing and you don't have Amazonite, you don't have adventuring, but you do have like a jade, or you do have another green crystal, use that instead, because you're going to put your intentions onto this as well, right? So it will kind of help you mitigate the fact that you can't go out and get that specific crystal. And as always, with the clear quartz, that's going to be your universal crystal. That's an amplifier. That's a crystal that you can use in space of another crystal, or to help activate and amplify the crystals that you already have, which is what we were doing with the clear quartz in here. All right, so now what we're going to do is put the corks on. And let's see, do I like how they look? I like how they look. All right, I don't think I can fill them up much more. So with the corks, we're not opening it up, so we're going to push down as hard as we can on that cork to get it flush with the bottle. And my, this is why my hands are so insane right now. I have been just doing too much, so they're swollen, I'm flared, and I thought, I got to get this done, so I might as well just do something easy. So my easy turns into chaos. And again, this is why we have the tray. I don't know if you guys can tell, but super inflamed and swollen. This is how I know that I need to cool it, and I need to not do things. But my brain says, ha, yeah, right. You have to do all of the things, remember? So yeah, if you guys struggle with arthritis, fibro, chronic illness of any kind, I feel ya. I understand, I relate. So for the necklace one, I'm using the jewelry metal glue, even though it's not metal. It's like an all-purpose super glue, and of course it's stuck to the lid. Let's try the other one. Hello, wooden bead. Where did you come from? And so I just put a couple drops on the cork. I don't even go all the way around, and I shove it in. And what that is going to do is create a seal without having the frosted looking reaction on the cork. We're just going to shove that all the way down as far as it'll go, and that's as far as it'll go. So then I'm going to kind of just clean up the edges here, make it look nice. And then we're going to take the sealing wax and put it on as I clean up my mess here, because I cannot handle it. All right. This you need to be very careful for. Do not do this at home. All right, so I have a candle over here that I'm lighting. You can use a hot glue gun with the sealing wax that come in the glue gun shape. Yeah. It with your when your hands get swollen or the arthritis like kicks in. I feel so old. I'm really not. But like, it's like the simplest things that you try to do falls apart. So this is Prosperity. I typically use a gold sealing wax. This one has the wick in it to help melt the candle or the wax. Come on, do your thing. Oh my gosh, come on. The most annoying thing in the world is when it doesn't want to light or work. We might just have to not seal it today. There. Oh, come on. This is literally what I'm trying to do. Light it. And it doesn't want to light. Oh. Oh, there we go. So yeah, just be careful when you are doing this because it is not fun to be burnt. That is what happened here on my thumb. And you kind of just let it go crazy. And my dog is reacting to all the neighbors. I guess there's like a lot of get-togethers going on in the neighborhood today. So I thought, oh, well, I can't get any work done. I can't film because everybody is having fun. So the thing about this is that I feel you don't get a lot of wax to work with. Ooh. But there's other ways of doing this as well, like the sealing wax that you get to the little pebbles. I'm going to try that next, just because I feel like I'd have a little bit more control and it's a lot less dangerous. And this is how I tell my spell jars apart, too, with the different wax colors. There we go. All right. I just got a really inexpensive plant magic book off of Amazon. I don't know if it's still running for $4, but it's like $4 and some change. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to try this out. I'll have to show you in just a second while I'm thinking about it, who the author is, but it looks pretty interesting. Have not read through it, but one of these days I will do a video on the different plant books that I have and see what, what's good, what's not, because there's a few that I really do love and I can't think of the author right now. Hot, hot, hot. And the other bad thing about this stuff too is it takes forever for the smoke to come down. Drives me crazy. So that's going to be off screen for a while, smoking. Hey Q, welcome in. Lady D, absolutely. That's what I always think about, is like sometimes people aren't in the right mind frame to do it themselves, or they're just, don't have the accessibility to get all the ingredients. So, for someone like me who has already the ingredients, it's just easier to make it and sell it for those who need it. Plus, they do sell really well. People really like them because they're inexpensive and they're helpful. I always keep one in my purse. I was going to say wallet, and I'm like, that's not the right word. All right, I'm going to go dump this in my money bowl so we can start fresh. I'll be right back. Oh, it's getting smoky in here from all of that. That's fun. It's like a Prince concert up in here. Okay. And I mean that in the most wonderful way. I love Prince. Okay. This will be the time trying to make them. Yeah, it can be very stressful trying to make all of this, and it can be very fun. We're just trying to have fun today. So next, now that we got the prosperity done, we're going to do another one here. And this time, we're going to actually utilize the incense first. So this to me just reiterates to everyone that you do not have to be perfect. You do not have to have every single thing right. You don't need to have every single ingredient. You don't have to have expensive ingredients. Everything that you do with magic is with intent. And as long as you have the correct intent, the ingredients will be there. You know, you can go and get your herbs at the Dollar Tree. You can go and get your herbs, you know, in your backyard. You can utilize different things as long as they have the same type of properties. You know, you don't necessarily have to use what I'm using. The great thing about magic in general is utilizing your own creativity and your own intuition. And what works for me might not work for you. And you might not believe in what I believe. And you might have a different reason for using an ingredient. And that's awesome. I think that's what makes the world go around. As long as you know, do what feels right for you. And you don't harm anybody or marsh anybody's mellow. That's what makes it great. All right. Next up, why don't we just do it, get it over with, the love one. The love spell jar. It's a really good one. Okay, so back to the eggshells. We're going to use these in every single one. My hair is falling out. Stop it. Does anyone have any questions, by the way, that I'm just sitting here talking? Q, we are doing well. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. So, you know, I do the crochet items and I have a lot of fun making it, but my hair, I find myself finding strands of my hair and strands of Walter's hair. And I always think, because, you know, I'm a true crime aficionado, although I've kind of had to take a break from that. I always think about like, oh God, you know, if I missed a hair, someone has one of my crochet items. Oh God, I don't want to be involved. It wasn't me. All right. So eggshells for grounding as well as protection. If you have eggshells that you've dried out or, you know, washed and dried out, crush them up. You can put them around the corners of your house. You can put them on your windowsill. They're great for protection. All right, next we're doing some basil. And listen, I got this from the dollar store. So, you know, no judgments from me on what you use. But all my other herbs are either hand grown in the garden from me or I buy them from the store. But I was just at the dollar store and they had basil, so why go to a second store? You use what you got on hand. So for me, the intention for the love jars, what I'm doing is more of a self-love. I'm putting ingredients in here for self-love, confidence, and compassion. Because what I have found, and in my practice, I don't like doing anything that can be karmic, if that makes sense. So I find a lot of the times that if you're struggling with love in general, it's often needing to start from within. So there's something that you're not allowing with compassion or grace in yourself to open the door for others to come in. So a lot of the times people are getting out of toxic relationships or situations and they need to rebuild that within themselves before they can find somebody who is good for them. Because if they are continuing those behavioral patterns, if they're not seeing themselves as worthy or valid for a higher caliber of a relationship, they're going to just keep going back to those same toxic or not good for them relationships. So what this is for is to help build self-confidence, self-love, and compassion for yourself. But again, that's the intention, the base intention. Whenever you get your spell jar, you can set it for whatever intention you want. To find a new loved one, or to find a better relationship, or to attract multiple people into your life. It's up to you. But it starts within, as does everything in life. It starts with, what you are working with internally. So I often find that sometimes when we struggle, it's often because we don't feel like we're worth, what we are wanting to attract. So same thing with, any kind of law of attraction with money, jobs, homes, any type of thing that you want to attract. A lot of the times it comes down to like you not seeing yourself worthy for that. You want it and you can see yourself there, but deep down it's like, oh, I've never gotten it before. Why would I get it now? And so there's a lot of that lack mindset that comes in. So it happens with love too. It's like, oh, they would never go for me. Why would they pick me? So this is to help set the intention that you are worthy, that you deserve, love and affection and attention and adoration from the right people, and sometimes we just get so beaten down by our past experiences that we think that that's all that we deserve. And in reality, that is just dead wrong. So I hope that with my channel, what I do is I help everybody with their, the way that they see themselves, and the way that they can see themselves and view themselves, and know that they are loved and accepted, and that there's so much worth in everyone, because a lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people think that the world sucks and we're just all sucking along with them, and that came out really wrong. But yeah, it's a shame that people have to feel that way. So I try my best to bring forth some positivity, some enlightenment, I guess. We all need it. Okay. Go out. Kendall says, no, I'm not going to stop burning. Okay. Knock it off. Thank you. In case nobody knows, I talk to inanimate objects, and it's perfectly fine. Perfectly normal. Okay, so I kind of went off on a tangent as I was doing this. So we're putting in basil for self-love, for self-peace, and for success. And we're putting in cloves for abundance and love and new beginnings. And we're putting in bay leaves for manifesting. Always save your glass jars. You can always use them for something else. All right. Bye, super girly. Thank you for coming by. That's how my tarot card readings are. I start with what the cards are saying about how the person is doing internally and what they can embrace to move forward. Absolutely. I think that's the perfect way of going about it. It's... to tell you the truth, I don't know how I feel about twin flames. I still don't know. I do definitely believe in karmic connections, but I don't know how I necessarily feel about all of that. Just because I feel like twin flame stuff can be a little toxic as well. So I don't know. I keep an open mind with a lot of things, because, who are we to know? But at the same time, I'm kind of just like, well, what doesn't make sense to me, I might not adapt into my practice. Because if it doesn't make sense, then I can't really, I can't utilize what I don't understand, you know? So chamomile, we got more peace, self-love here, happiness, abundance, self-love, healing. This is literally a very universal plant as well. I love to have chamomile around. I did a... Mom, you're not listening to this. My mom's like my best friend, and she always comes to me. She jokes and says I'm her therapist, because she really enjoys my insight and the readings that I do. Whenever there's a new decision, she always, you know, rings me up and she's like, can you pull the cards? So she was having, you know, indecision about something, and I told her, I'm like, you know, you really need to do a little bit of, what is it called? Like, not past life, but past experience, letting go of that. Like, I think that's what's really causing you to have the anxiety. And of course, you know, when you do the reading, it confirms all that. And I was like, well, you know, let's do a spell jar for that. Let's do some healing, and let's do just to see if it helps settle you and helps clear your mind about things. And she's like, yeah, I think that would be a really good idea. And so we made a spell jar together, and she feels so much better, and things are good for her. And I think it just helps to also focus your intention on things that are tangible. So sometimes, you know, that's why money bowls are a really good thing. That's why writing out your intentions are a really good thing. 3-6-9 method, all of that, because you're focusing, excuse me, you're focusing your attention, and it's reiterating and what's the word I'm looking for? Asserting what you want and what your focus should be. It's rewiring your attention. And so when you have something to focus that intention onto, it helps your subconscious mind, and it helps all of that come a little bit better and quicker and easier. So that's why I love spell jars, because sometimes you can forget what your specific spell jar is if you make a lot of them, but you know that you did it for a reason. So it helps. I love chamomile tea, right? So next we have some fennel. Ooh, and I just tossed it everywhere. So this is for courage and strength. You know, it would help if I had a funnel, but none of my funnels are intricate enough for this. So that's why we make messes. Stomach, you are not hungry. Why are you growling? I just fed you. It's like, yeah, well, that wasn't enough. Stomachs can be very finicky. If you hear any kind of commotion in the back, husband is alive and kicking. Listening to his videos and stuff. So if you hear any of that, YouTube, it's not intentional. Don't copyright strike me. All right, so next we're going to do time. Where's my time? There it is. So again, for courage and for new beginnings. And for me, these herbs are strictly for my magical workings, so I don't care if I stick the same spoon in after working with it. You know, it's not technically a dirty spoon, because I'm not cross-contaminating, if that's what I'm trying to say. But if you have specific herbs, don't have specific herbs, I'm sorry, you're going to want to make sure that you aren't cross-contaminating. So you have a clean spoon every time. Just a little food safety for you. All right, and last herb for this, we've got the rosemary. if there is any herb that I suggest you grow, it's rosemary. This is something that I will always recommend. Use it for anything and everything. Universal herb. Oh, I have to make my rosemary bundles too. Maybe I'll do another live for that where we just wrap rosemary. I don't have a lot to wrap, but enough. Just laugh at the mess I make. The dogs love to be in the kitchen when I'm cooking because they're like, oh, she's going to eventually drop something good on the floor. And speaking of cooking, I do want to go through my Mabon recipes from that Kitchen Witch deck and see what you guys want to make. I'll post it on the community tab in the poll, and then you guys can vote on what I make on video. I don't know if it'll be a live stream just because that's going to be chaotic, but definitely have a video on it. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I know I love that I'm very close with my mom. It sucks because she does live farther away from me now, but you know, it's good. We're going to Disneyland. We're having a big family trip together, so it'll be really fun. It'll be my nephew's first time in Disneyland. I am so excited. He's not even going to be a year old, so I doubt he'll remember it, but it's cute nonetheless. I got him his first set of Mickey ears, and he is just adorable in them. So I'm very excited. I will be filming, vlogging it, hopefully interesting stuff. So stay tuned for that video. But we'll be gone for about a week, just with everything. So I'm hoping to have videos pre-filmed for you guys to still have for that week, but if not, that's why. If I don't make it, that is why. Hi, Miss Ron, welcome in. We're just chilling. We are hanging out making spell jars. Absolutely, Q. Absolutely. I'm always of the mindset of if you need the medication, you need the medication. My mom she has her own stuff and it works for her, and that's all that matters. If you can be functioning, that's all that matters. I know there's a lot of people that are anti medication, which to me sounds weird and very ableist because, like, you know, if you can go without it, that's awesome, but there's a lot of people that need it to function, and it should be accessible for everybody. If it's something I'm not even going to go on that tangent because I'm so upset. But yeah, anywho, things like just to help people calm their anxiety or calm their mind or calm, you know, their nervous system down, like that's a gift, you know, in and of itself. Oh, you would love to see how I wrap rosemary? Awesome. Okay, well, maybe I'll do that on another live this week, because I don't have all the stuff up here right now. But I know that there's a full moon on Wednesday. I'm trying to get better with my productivity and my scheduling, but with everything that is going on right now in the next couple weeks, things are going to get crazy. So I don't know if I will have a video or be live in the next couple of days for that. But cross your fingers. I'll let you guys know in the community tab. Oh, I forgot about the rose. For all of that, I always feel bad if I miss a moon reading, but you know, stuff is out of my control right now with everything. So next we're going to add the rose. I forgot about the rose because we're doing the love. So obviously you need to have the roses in there. These are just rose buds that I kind of just crumple up like this and shove in because, again, they won't fit through the neck of the bottle. So love is for tranquility, for compassion, also for intuition. Help all of those things. If you can find like herbs and flowers at your local places, highly suggest that. But I know Amazon carries some of these packets. In fact, there's a brand called Why Spell? I want to do a couple videos on their products. They put out a tarot deck. I think a couple tarot decks actually. So I kind of want to see what they're all about. I think that's where I got some of these crystal, the small chips, because I couldn't find any in a small size for these bottles. Like these are ridiculously big. They're great for the witch bottles, but they're terrible for the mini spell jars. So trying to do my best to find local stuff, but that doesn't always happen. And I know a lot of you guys don't have access to a lot of local stuff. So if I can do reviews on stuff that is accessible to people, I'm going to do that too. There's a lot of people that don't have metaphysical shops in their area, but always recommend small businesses first, and then if you can't find them with the small businesses, then, you know, obviously go where you have to go. Okay, next we're gonna do rose quartz for obvious reasons. Where are you? Oh, right here, that's where you are. Rose quartz for self-love, love in general, harmony, trust, and the big one here is emotional healing. Rose quartz is another great crystal to have on hand for anybody. Let's see, will you fit? Oh, will you fit? Where did my little doodad? There we go. I know I made videos on these, but it's nice to just chill and relax with everybody on a live. I haven't been live in a minute. I know everyone liked the pendulum reading, so that was fun. I'm going to try to do more of those soon. Like I said, schedule-wise right now is crazy, but I'm going to do my best to be more regular with going live because it's fun. I like hanging out with everybody. I like the chill vibes. Yeah, Miss Ron, that's an absolute great take. Absolutely. Oh, nice. Having local shops is fantastic. It's a blessing. All right, next we have garnet. And garnet is great for healing broken bonds. It inspires love. And it balances energy. And yes, I write all of this stuff down. I put it on a piece of paper for everyone else because I need it just as they would. I have a terrible memory. Intuitively, I can tell you what crystal you need or what like ingredient maybe you would work, but could I tell you why at that moment? No. And I've been doing tarot for so long, and then there's times where it like completely blank out. I'm like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Why is it not making sense in my head? Just because of my fibro brain fog. Yeah, it's like doing the reset with the computer. You kind of need to turn it on and off again. It's like, wait a minute. What? Same with words. So if you hear me stumble on words or hear me like get confused, it's because my brain literally cannot find the right words. Like it knows what I'm trying to say, but my mouth cannot connect to my brain. So it's fun that way. It's like, cool. We can totally just mess up your whole recording. There's times where like I had to scrap like legitimate videos because the whole time my brain just wouldn't work. So there's days where like I can't film because my head just will not work with me. So it's fun. I'm very grateful that I get to be at home for a job because after COVID, after having that, oh, I don't know if I could say that anymore online, but after having that twice, like I feel like everything just kind of like broke my body. worse than it was as far as like my memory and how I can find words and stuff. And I know a lot of people are struggling with that. We still don't know all of the effects, and I got it twice. And I know a lot of people had it worse and had a lot more going on, and I don't know how we get back to quote unquote normal. It's crazy. So yeah, I definitely have had some interesting word issues and brain issues. So I feel like you might be able to notice it, you might not. And if you see a lot of cuts in a video, jump cuts, it's because I do a lot of what was I trying to say? So I cut that out for your benefit. All right, so now the clear quartz went in. That was for amplification of all of the ingredients. So now we're going to seal it. Yeah, literally, like, where did my brain go? Like, I thought that it was working just fine. My mom suffers from fibro, and we both have hypermobility. We both have RA issues. And so definitely genetic stuff. And so when she first was dealing with all of it, I'm like, like, what is going on with you? And it would be like an inside joke. And she would be like, you're my translator. And so I would literally be like, okay, yeah, okay. So she'd be like, the thing that does that. I was like, the teapot? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So, we were doing that for a while, and then I got diagnosed with it. I started coming down with all of it in my 20s, and she was like, oh, now you can understand how I feel. I was like, oh God. Yeah, that's exactly that. I feel it. I understand. She's like, we're both each other's translators now. God bless my husband. He, he does the same thing now. He's like, okay, wait, what were you trying to say? And I think he has ADHD as well as I do. And so we're both kind of sitting here going, okay, what were we going to say? What were we going to do? We're interrupting each other. It's great. It's just chaos at our house. All right. And so that was some glue, jewelry glue to kind of hold the cork in for this particular one, because this has a necklace ring top to it. Wipe that down. All right. We're gonna have to deal with the wax again. All right, everybody, pray to your gods and goddesses. After the infection, ugh, the worst. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Miss Ron. Yeah. Ugh. And I feel like fibro is now becoming more understandable the more that people are coming to get diagnosed with it. So, which is great, because when I first started getting diagnosed, they're like, oh yeah, this new thing. Like, okay, when it was like 10 years ago. It's not that new. It's been around forever. It's just doctors didn't know how to treat it. Thanks, Chantel. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, I got checked for everything under the sun. I will never forget the horrific experience of having to go in an MRI machine. Never again do I want to do that. I have claustrophobia and anxiety, so you can imagine how well that went. It was not good, and I had to be in there longer than I normally would because I kept moving unintentionally, and they're like, can you stop moving? Like, I didn't know I was moving. I'm just breathing. So yeah, having to do all, and they didn't even give me like, sometimes they give you like, I'll say Prozac to like calm you down. They didn't give me any of that. I was in so much pain when I was first getting diagnosed. Nobody wanted to do any type of pain management medication for me because they said, oh, you're too young. We don't want you to get addicted. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't want to get addicted to pain pills either, but can you like direct me to something that I can use for this pain? Because I literally cannot get out of bed. They're like, no, you can just deal with some Advil. Cool. Cool. Advil. Yeah, so it's crazy. I went to a lot of different specialists, and I finally went to one doctor, and he was like, "Yeah, why are you on all of these different medications?" I said, "I don't know. They, treated me for Lyme disease. They treated me for this, that, and the other." And I was on just, I don't even remember what I was on, but I was taking multiple pills a day, just trying to figure it out. And he's like, "Well, first of all, we're going to get you off all of this because it has nothing to do with what you have." I was like, "Oh, do you know what I have?" Like, "Yeah, you are exhibiting all the signs for fibro." Cool. Can you be my doctor now? So luckily, we were able to figure all of that out, and I was on a bunch of different medications that helped, and he ended up retiring. So then I had to go back to, he was private practice, and I had to end up going back to, you know, regular old wonderful healthcare. And I eventually got a doctor that I liked, but she was the same way, like no pain pills. We're going to do, what we can to do things naturally, which I appreciated, but like, you know, it's always it's a rough go trying to get diagnosed with anything, and you have to be your own advocate. You have to be somebody that sticks to what you know is right and fight for your own health care, which is ridiculous. And then you're under the insurance mercy of what is covered and what isn't. And so if they want to run tests and the insurance says, "Oh, yeah, no, we don't need that. That's not covered. We're not going to pay for that," then you can't have tests done. It's insane. I will never understand it. I think it's absolutely inhumane. And, when your doctor is having to go by insurances, what they approve and what they don't, then are they really your doctor? The insurance is then in charge of your health care, and it's ridiculous. I just know so many people who suffer, and I just burnt myself, um, who suffer unnecessarily because they can't afford to, get specific tests run or medical help that they need. And it's like, shouldn't that be a right? Shouldn't that be something that we're all able to access because, we need it to, I don't know, live? So yeah, anyway, sorry, that was a long rant that had nothing to do with the video. It's not normally a complain about everything channel, but I'm sorry, Chelsea, that you did not enjoy that. Oh, people are funny. Anyway, so that's the love spells done. And I like using like a glass base because the wax doesn't stick. Hi, persnickety. Yeah, it is isolating. No, cute. I mean, it is what it is. Like I understand, but at the same time it's like, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be so uh uh I don't know. I don't want to even say anything. Because again, it's like you give energy to that. It's like, no, you don't get to take my energy away from me. But the reason why I talk like this, just so you guys know, the reason why I bring all this up is because I know a lot of you in my community suffer with issues. So just so you know, it is not a complain about everything channel. It's because a lot of you talk about the issues that you deal with, and I can relate. And I want you guys to know that you aren't alone, that you aren't suffering in silence, that you have somebody who's on your side, on your team, who knows the intimate ins and outs of what you go through. And that, you know, we can still have a positive outlook on life, but at the same time, we can be critical about the systems that hold us to these unnecessary, I'll say, standards. This is my house. I'm sorry, guys. Right, Eric? Oh, awesome. I will. Thank you, persnickety. Yeah, chronic fatigue is something that I have to constantly deal with. Like, I wake up tired. I'm going to go dump this. I'll be right back. Like, the fact that you can get 8 hours of sleep and still wake up not knowing what to do with your body. Like, no, I could go sleep another 12 hours. It's insane. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. We just got done with the love. Let's move on to the next one. How about we do the calming one, since that seems to be like a good one with what we're talking about right now. It is hot up in this office. I might have to turn the fan on in a minute, and if I do, I apologize for the sound that it will make, but we'll see. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I feel like it's a very common thing in the spiritual community to be dealing with conditions that other people don't necessarily deal with or know what to do. And I think Miss Ron and I were talking about this the other day. I think even with Q on one of the videos, it's like a lot of people deal with empathy. I should say the people who deal with more empathy and understand it usually are the ones that have a little bit more chronic issues going on. I'm just not that person that can see somebody dealing with something difficult and be like, okay, cool, bye. Like, yes, absolutely. Tell me about it. Let me know what's going on. Let me commiserate with you. Let me, you know, be that shoulder sometimes. There's so many people in my life that deal with chronic stuff and illnesses that it's like you can't do anything but relate to it. All right. So with the calming jar, we're going to go back to our lovely eggshells again. You can see why I have a lot of the same stuff out. I feel like doctors really haven't caught up to a lot of the spiritual community yet either with what we're doing as far as vibrations go, healing circles, and all of that kind of stuff that they would call, you know, wackadoodle stuff. But honestly, I'll tell you what, after going through all of that in my 20s, it led me down more of a spiritual path. And it didn't lead me to religion. It led me to feeling more connected and looking more towards nature than, you know, not necessarily a community. Like, I didn't really search for a community. I searched more for like inner knowing, connecting back to myself. And then it led me to where I'm at today. I always was interested in, like, I'll call it the supernatural and that sort of a thing. But I never was like, I never considered myself like, oh, I'm a witch or I'm a this or whatever. I always just kind of thought that, okay, this is cool. I'm connected to it. Awesome. But I grew up in a time where a lot of this was stigmatized still, and where, you know, you had to go to that certain store with that certain back area of the store to find anything remotely, uh, you know, of this stuff, I'll say, witchy or whatever. You had to wait until Halloween came out, and then you were looked weird at when you bought some stuff. So, you know, it was a time where we couldn't really understand everything as widespread as it is now. And I think now it's great. I think a lot of people are waking up just to their own inner power and their own inner wisdom and utilizing it in a way that is healing and beneficial for them. So we did basil for tranquility, for peace, for success and love. And so again, we're working with self-love with the calming. We're working with peace, inner and outer, and success that this will help. All right, next up we've got chamomile again. Where did I put it? There it is. Hi, Jake. Hi, Miss Moonlight. Welcome in. Lady D, you're funny. But thank you. That's fine. We're not making fun of anybody. We're not, you know, feeling awful, but, you know, it's just some people don't understand. That's okay. And when you come in for like a brief moment and that's what you hear, I understand. I always say, like, I'm never going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm going to be for the people that vibe with me. That's okay. And I think that's some of the things that we forget as a society too now, with like social media and having likes and followers as a currency. It's, you know, you're not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. You know, if you imagine if you were for everybody, the energy exchange that you have to deal with. You know, that's why some people only keep little tiny friend groups, because can you imagine trying to keep up with everybody's lives and be that intimate of knowing each other for that many people? There's no way. So, you know, be grateful too that you're not everybody's cup of tea, that you're not pulled in every single different direction. So there's different ways of looking at all of this stuff. It's, you know, some people get caught up in the, oh my God, one person doesn't like me. What am I going to do? Or they don't like what I'm putting out. What am I going to do? It's like, cool. They don't. That's one less person that you have to try to please. Like, you don't, I don't know. I guess I'm getting old. I got into the point where it's like, I know what I'm about. I know what I bring to the table. And if that is not what you want to eat, cool. You can go to another restaurant. All right. Next, we've got lavender. But what I do ask is to not be rude. You know, when people, like, there's an energy exchange when you walk into any building, when you walk into your friend's house. That's why a lot of people like to do cleanses in their homes regularly when they have people over, because the energy you bring affects everybody else like osmosis. So it's the same digitally. So if you come in here and bring that energy, that's rude, right? That's rude. You can voice your opinion 100%, but you don't get to be rude about it when you come into somebody else's house. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go into a neighbor's house and go raid their fridge and then be like, oh, you don't have my favorite drink in here. Bye. I don't know. I see things in crazy ways. So we're doing lavender, and a lot of you can understand why we're doing lavender, for the calming effects. I absolutely love lavender. I think that lavender is probably one of my favorite scents. It brings me so much peace and happiness. Helps me sleep. But it's for healing, for tranquility, peace, calming in general. I'm going to put more in. Oh, awesome, Miss Moonlight. I bring a squash pie and a soggy bag of chips to the table, but at least they're hot. You know what? Somebody's going to eat it. I love it. I absolutely love it. You know, and that's what all, and again, like we're all unique, we're all different, but we all have to have compassion for one another. You know, and some people too, you have to keep in mind that we're all on different paths and different degrees of our spirituality. Some people just haven't gotten to that part yet. And some people are here to troll, and some people are here to just create chaos, which is fine. You know, we all have our purpose. But at the same time, like, I live by a mutual respect. Like, I'm going to respect your space and I'm going to respect mine. And if there's something that I don't like or it's not a match for me, I'm just going to scroll on by. It's just that easy. Like, I'll never understand the Facebook groups or even like just the ridiculous posts that come about, that the memes, and then you see all of these people just like commenting negative things or complaining, and it's like, Karen, you did not need to say any of that. You could have just scrolled on by. Like, I think a lot of the social media is toxic, but at the same time, a lot is really cool and really awesome. So it's just how you look at it. It's just what you pay attention to. Remember, where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you want more negativity in your life, go look at those comments. That's why I've stopped watching a lot of true crime lately too. I enjoy a lot of the podcasts that I listen to and the YouTubers, and I usually just have it on for background noise when I'm doing other things around the house or when I'm crocheting. But I had to stop because it's just like, that's too much negative, you know, coming in. And I hate sounding like that kind of person, like, oh, I can't watch that because it's negative and, you know, it's going to bring negativity. It's not necessarily that. It's just when you were watching so much like I was, it does take a toll on your mental health. I don't understand how anybody could do that full time. That would drive me into a depression, because it is so, it is just, it's a lot. But I was having nightmares about different stuff, about being chased and followed and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's the time. That's when I know I need to knock it off. All right, so we had rosemary for healing, wisdom, and protection. And next we're going to do some jasmine. Jasmine for harmony, for meditation, and for love. So with these bigger ones, I can usually fit quite a bit in. But for the smaller ones, I'm going to probably have to break the bud up. See, will it fit? Yay! That's why a toothpick helps. Jake, I agree. Hi, Yasmin. Welcome in. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on comments. Oh my God, Lori. Yeah, it's people like that that just, yep, can't do it. Yeah, the patience is really just determination and pride at this point. It's like, you will go in. The littler the bottle, the more crazy my fingers have to be. but we get there. That's why the toothpick is very helpful. Having a toothpick to squash it all down definitely helps. Not everything goes in, and that's fine too. I don't know. I have gotten to the point where I feel like most things happen for a reason, and most things are learning experiences. So if it doesn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out, that is a learning experience. What did you learn from it? Next time, maybe don't put all of it in. Next time, try it a different way. Next time, don't crochet all day, and maybe your hands won't be flared up. Do you ever, I'm so bad with hyper focusing. Like, I get on a project and I am on that project until I'm finished some days. Like, I cannot be asked to be torn away. So when I get in a crochet rhythm, don't bug me. I am here. I'm doing this for the rest of the day. My husband's like, you kind of need to like take a break and get up and walk. I'm like, I'll do that in a minute when I'm on my next row. And then when I'm on my next row, it's when I'm finished. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was going to go take a break. That never happened. So next we've got thyme. We've used thyme in, I think, every bottle so far. But this is to ease grief and clear away negativity. I think thyme is one of those herbs that a lot of people forget about or they sleep on. Is that the current term? The Gen Z term, like sleep on it? Y'all, I'm going crazy just a little bit. All right. Next we have marjoram. I have tried to grow marjoram. I know, by the way, sorry, conspiracy theory alert, but I feel like I cannot get any seeds to grow anymore. I have tried and tried and tried. I have done everything possible to make these seeds grow. They will not grow. But if I do a cutting or if I do a seed from like an already established fruit, they grow. I'm just saying, I don't understand how that's possible. It's almost like people are gatekeeping the good seeds. So marjoram is for love and for healing. So this can definitely help calm you down. It's for other things too. I put marjoram in my money bowl, which, by the way, I do sell money bowl kits. They're $8 and they have everything you need to get started. They're all on my Whatnot shop as well. They come with a green candle, 3 little green adventuring tumbles, and all of the herbs. They just don't come with the bowl. I just feel like I didn't see a lot of that stuff out in shops, but I think a lot more people are coming out with it independently. And I'm also working on labels and packaging and that sort of a thing too. But all of these things take time, and I'm still trying to figure out what people want and want to purchase, and like prices for them as well. Like what's going to be fair and accessible, but at the same time worth it for me to sell it and package it up. All right, so that's all the herbs. Let me catch up on the comments. Oh, I love that, Lori. Yeah. Locked in for real. Yeah, Miss Ron, it's hard. I think we will all struggle with it if we came from that background. I typically have a really good relationship with that because I was involved in the church, but I wasn't involved in the church, if that makes sense. Like, we went when I was younger, but once I started getting older, life got in the way, so I wasn't expected to be a part of it, because it just wasn't something that was convenient for my family to continue to do. So I wasn't like really, I was in it until like I got into my teenage years. Like I was around it and involved in some way. I was in the choir. I was in youth groups and all that stuff. Did that mean I approved of it and I understood what was going on? Not really. I felt like a lot of it was, I don't know. I don't want to bash it because that's not what I'm here about, but like it didn't feel like it didn't vibe with me. It wasn't my thing. I did it because I had friends that were going and, you know, it was something that was a social event for me. I got to see my friends, we got to hang out, and I didn't pay attention to most of the other stuff. So we did fluorite for focus and for connection. Fluorite is great for focus. I tend to do better with productivity when I am around fluorite. Go figure. Yeah, Whatnot is like, it's like Etsy, but live. It's like a streaming platform, kind of like this. So I would be selling you what I'd be making and you could bid on it. There would be a button down below that you could hit, like I'm bid the dollar, bid this, that, and the other. And there's also like a little area where you can go in and find the buy it now option. So similar to Etsy, similar to eBay, but live. Psychic empowerment. I was literally, Jake, literally thinking about making like a intuition witch ball or spell jar, but I was like, oh, I'm going to stick to this because I know I need to do that for my shop. But yeah, I will absolutely put one together. Maybe I'll do that after I get all of this done because I still have some spell bottles left. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade. I didn't like it. Didn't buy. Yeah. I mean, listen, everybody has their something, and if it works for you, awesome. But I'm also one of those people too, like, don't try to push it on everybody. You know, like it. Like I understand, like if your family goes and you have to go, that makes sense. You kind of have to be a part of it. But you know, if you're of the mind independent, that you can. If you are in control of what you go to and what you do, then absolutely, if you're not feeling it, you don't necessarily have to be a part of it. So red jasper is a really cool crystal that I don't see utilized a lot, but for grounding, for centering, and if it'll fit in the dang bottle, and also nurturing. It's great for the root chakra, to connect to that. I'm not going to be able to find. I'm going to have to get more of this. There. Okay, that's good enough for that. Oh no, I'll find you later. I think I'm going to have similar problems with the Unakite. So Unakite is for insight, balance, and release. Let's see. Will you fit? Possibly. Unakite is a very cool looking rock crystal thing. Some people have different names for, they're like, oh, that's a gemstone. Oh, that's a rock. Oh, that's a crystal. Yeah, they're interchangeable to me. I'm also going to do more tumbling videos. I just have to wait until after I get back from Disneyland because I don't want my mother-in-law to have to listen to that rock tumbler. We muffle it and it's great, but you can still hear it. And she's already going to have to take care of my poor babies. So less stress on her, the better. All right. And then we got clear quartz for amplification. I'm like trying not to stress out because I'm going to be leaving my my dog who's older, my geriatric dog, for the first time for a long trip. In his mind, it's a long trip. So I'm trying not to like have a negative reaction to that and know that he's taken care of. So like that's not an issue. But you know, your mom anxiety kicks in and you're like, oh God, you know, like I hope he's okay. And like I'm trying not to being anxious over it because I know he's going to be just fine. His mother-in-law, we call her Nanny, they love each other very much. So there's not going to be any issues. It's just, I know he's dealing with a lot, and you know, your mom instincts kick in. You're like, oh, my poor baby. But he's doing a lot better now that he's on a good regimen with his medication. It was touch and go there for a minute. But he's doing better, which is good. So I think we're finally on a schedule now, all that to say, because before I was like, oh God, you know, we're having this weird interchange of medication. We don't know what's going on, like how best to do it for him. So it was a lot of up in the air. That's why I wasn't going live for a long time and all that stuff. So I think we're finally figured it out to where it's working. He's doing better. And yeah, we're just keeping him comfortable. My sweet little baby. All right, push it down. Oh God, I filled these up, I think, as far as they could go. I think marrying the two is great, Miss Ron. Or not Miss Ron, Miss Moonlight. No, Miss Ron. Oh my God. Both of you in here, both Misses. With all of these stones, do these jars, oh yeah, I don't open them up, I seal them. And what's great about these is that you can literally put them wherever you need them. With the calming ones that we're doing now, you can have them in your pocket, in your purse. I'm making one that has a loop for the necklace, so you can wear it on you. You can put it on your desk if you're needing it at work. You can utilize this however you see fit. And if you forget about them, then you don't need it anymore. At least that's my experience. Or if you somehow lose it, you didn't need it. It was served its purpose. And then when you feel like you need to have another one, then you make another one. And what's awesome about the whole project here is you can do it really inexpensively. You can find these bottles at the dollar store sometimes. I don't know about the ones with the loop for the jewelry. I don't know if you can find those at the dollar store. I have not seen them. So they're very inexpensive to make if you already have all of the ingredients. But if you don't have all the ingredients, you can still make really inexpensive spell jars just with your intention and things you have in the cupboard or around your house. I'm sure everybody has dirt. I'm sure everybody has, you know, some type of rosemary or basil or some sort of spice in their cabinet. Again, dollar store has a lot of spices and herbs. So there's things that you can do inexpensively. You don't necessarily have to have like really expensive ingredients, which again is why I like making these to sell, because again, not everybody has access to everything, or they don't necessarily need everything that I put in here for one thing. All right, so I'm going to use this candle wax that I've got, my little itty bitty candle. I sell them individually. I might actually try to do kits. That might be fun. I just haven't done that yet, but that would be kind of fun to do a little kit so you can do it yourself at home. I might do that, actually. Thank you for that idea. Oh, Lori, the worst part is weaving in those dang ends. And there's some projects that I'm like, okay, I'll weave them in as I go. But then there's other projects where I'm like, I know I'm not going to like this, or I'm experimenting with it. Like sometimes with the granny square projects, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna leave the ends. I'll deal with them later because I know I'm not gonna like it or I'm gonna need to change something. And it's the worst. I made a full granny square coat that's like full length to the floor. That project was an amazing project, but the amount of ends that I had to weave in, I had like 2 shopping bags full. I was like, never again. And I have so many friends that want that jacket, and I'm like, okay, but you do understand that this is going to cost you. Like, it's not going to be no $20 price tag. They're like, no, 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 we understand. I'm like, do you? Do you really know? It's funny. All right. I'm going to go back over these because I need more wax on them. I like a thick layer. And since this is just candle wax and not sealing wax, I like to do a little bit more because it's a little bit thinner of a wax. But I will have a Whatnot stream tomorrow. The link is in the link tree. If you have not signed up for an account yet with Whatnot, that link will get you a free $10 to spend. I believe that they're still doing that. So check it out. If you aren't in the US though, I don't know how that works just because I haven't had to ship anything to international yet. So I don't know how that will work. So I don't want to give you false hope. So just to let you know, I'm not sure, but it'll get you to an account and or get you an account, and then you can shop anywhere with that $10 and have fun. It's great. And then on the 31st, that's this coming up Thursday, there's a lot of artisans. So I'm technically in the artisan group that are doing a whole day of the witches of Whatnot. So there'll be like witch themed stuff all day. Just look for the same thumbnail and it'll be different times throughout the day. So I'll be on at 12:45 Pacific Standard Time on Thursday. All right, so that's the calming ones done. Aren't those so pretty? Just love how they look. Anything miniature. Oh my gosh, Miss Ron, I would love to teach you. On my second channel, I do have like a basic starting with crochet video, how to get started, like a basic stitch that I think, God, that's like over a year old now. I think that was like one of the last videos I uploaded on that channel. Sad. I keep forgetting that I have a second channel. Oops. But yeah, I've been teaching a lot of people how to crochet because a lot of people are into it now with how it's become fashionable again. So a lot of the younger generation are wanting to learn, and I'm like, yeah, I'll help you out as best as I can. Teach you how I do it. But it's very calming and very meditative. Ooh, 70 granny squares. Oi, yeah, I don't remember how much mine had on it, and it had enough to make me want to scream. Yes, you can find a lot of videos online. Oh, okay, go to sleep, Miss Ron. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you stopping by. Love to see you. And I'm tossing that because I have a bunch of wax in it. I don't want to put that in my money bowl. And I think the only one we have left is the protection. All right. Try to scrape it off as I go because I don't want the bottles to be unstable. There's enough unstableness with just me. Okay. So how's everybody doing? I'm checking in. Everybody doing okay? Everybody have their water? Anybody have any questions that I can answer while I'm paying attention and not off on a tangent? All right. Ash from the wick. Cool. Okay, the last spell jars here. And this little guy. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing well. Hopefully y'all can see enough. I know that the camera's kind of far away, but I'm trying to do it so you can see what I've got going on here. So again, we're doing those why am I doing it with this one? That's not the one I want to use. The eggshells. And again, I just do it to cover the bottom. We're still in a heat wave, but like a cooler heat wave. So it's like, yeah, we're only going to get to 95 degrees today instead of 109. Cool. My husband's like, yeah, it's supposed to be cooler tomorrow. I'm like, oh yeah, like 80s. He's like, no, like 90, 95. I said, notify me when we're back down to 70. I am waiting for the fall weather to get here. And like in California, especially where I'm at, we don't get fall weather until winter, and we get like 1 week of it, and then it rains. It's either hot or rainy here. All right, next we have basil. Again, we're with the basil. This is for protection and purification. So as you can see, the herbs are very versatile. Oh yeah, let me get that plant magic book. Natasha, you just keep getting distracted. Okay, so this is what I just got today. Rachel Cohen, Change Your Life Through the Magical Energy of Nature. And my greasy fingers. But it looked really cool. It's like a $20 book that I got for $4 on Amazon. I absolutely love any books that have like anything to do with plants in relation to magic. I find a lot of overlap, which is great. But there's some books that include houseplants. There's some that just include the herbs and what you find, that you can grow in your garden. So it's really cool to have one of these on hand for when you're doing stuff like this, because then if you don't know the associations of some herbs or plants that are around you, you can easily figure out why your intuition wanted to pick that. Like if you had no idea what lavender did, but you're like, I know that I need to use this, and you found out the reason why in the book, you're like, oh yeah, that's why my intuition told me to pick the lavender. So it's very cool because I find myself like drawn to certain herbs for one thing and not for the next. And I'll find myself intuitively pulling herbs and plants for things. And I'm like, I don't know why, but I just pulled it. And then when I go and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. It's helpful because I can't always remember the associations. Sometimes it's easier, to remember certain ones. Like basil is always going to be great for money workings. Lavender is always going to be great for calming and self-love, that sort of a situation. But, you can't remember everything all the time. At least I can't. All right, cloves again. So cloves, this time, new beginnings. The thing that I always remember with cloves is they look like little spikes. So whenever you're wanting to do like any kind of magic working that involves protection or return to sender, or if you're into kind of the, what's what's the word I'm looking for? The magic that kind of gets back at people, if you know what I mean. Cloves are great for that. I remember when we were in elementary school, we would take the orange peel. We would eat the orange, take the peel, and put little cloves into it. And I think a candle was put in there as well. And then it would be like a little tea light. And it would smell so good. I think we did that around Christmas time. It's the little things that come back to you when you're doing stuff. You're like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about that in ages. All right, next we have calendula, another sun plant. So as you can see, they're really big blossoms. That is one blossom, but you don't need all of that in your spell jar. You can just use the petals or the, you can break it apart because obviously that whole thing is not going to fit in there. So again, just follow your intuition, follow what's going to work best for you. The calendula is great for protection and for healing. So if you are trying to protect yourself from toxic situations and people, this is great for healing those connections or the vibrations from that. Put a little bit more in you. Handy dandy trusty toothpick. All right, and this was another plant that I tried growing from seeds, did not take. I was so upset. Because my dream, my goal is to have my own little herb apothecary. You know, you take your own plants and dry them out and use them. That is the goal. But it's not working out as planned if I can't grow them from the seeds. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm sure it's my error. But it's frustrating. For 3 years in a row, I can't seem to get the seeds to germinate and to stay. I have one peppermint stem holding on for dear life. And everything else I had to buy from the plant stores, which is frustrating because it's like I have a green thumb. I totally do. I'm not gaslighting myself, but it's frustrating when you want to you know, when you nurture something and it just won't grow no matter what you're doing. All right. Stop. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad, Nutmeg. Just bought the book. Let me know how you like it. I found a neat protection spell for health using cloves and a lemon. It was fun. Those cloves are like little thumbtacks. Yes, like little thumbtacks. I just bloop, bloop, pop them in. I normally do not have patience to watch live, but I'm really glad, really enjoying this. Glad you were on when this happened. Oh, thanks, Audrey. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I have to be in the mood to watch a live. I have to have like nothing to do, and I have to just have that mindset of like, we're just gonna vibe. But most of the time, I'm one of those people that I have to just watch a video because I don't pay attention to the chat. It's hard because I want to pay attention to the person in the video, but then I pay attention to the chat, and it's like, okay, this is too much. I can't, I can't focus on what I'm supposed to focus on. So I usually watch like the after video of the lives. All right, so next we got wormwood. This is for protection and for banishing. Oh, come on, go in. I feel like wormwood is kind of hard to get. Unless you buy it in a kit or you have a metaphysical shop that sells it. Who's whining out there? Oh, really? Come on, go in. You're being crazy. Yeah, you definitely have to have some patience with working with the little minis. You have to just go in knowing that you're going to be struggling and know that everything's going to fall out. Stop it. Hopefully I'm explaining this in a way that makes sense. I know I've made individual videos on these, but sometimes it doesn't get fed to everybody. So if this is your first time seeing spell jars being made, I hope it's being explained to you in a way that makes sense. I try my best. Trying to think about what else is going on in my life that's exciting, but not much, really, because we've just been focused on the dogs and going to Disneyland. I feel so sorry for my husband because he's always been like, you get to go more than I do. And the last time I went was in 2019 with my mom and my sister. It was a girls' trip. And that was when the Star Wars land was available. So it was like just brand new or something of that. And I come back home and my husband's just pouting. He's like, you got to go to Star Wars land. I'm so jealous. I'm like, well, you know, we'll go again. And then the world ended for a while. And we're like, oh, okay, gotta wait. Oh, thanks. Cute. Hi, Zach. Zach's so Raven. I love that. Oh, Miss Moonlight, thank you. Yeah, cute. It does. It's hard to see your pet's age for sure. And I think talking about it does help. I think that for me anyway, knowing that people have gone through similar things, it helps me because I have never had the opportunity to have a geriatric dog or anything of like the dogs that we've had in the past. They left us prematurely. So this is kind of like my first time dealing with the progression. So it's hard, but I'm getting the support I need. And, you know, luckily my sister works in the vet field, so she's very knowledgeable and she's given me a lot of encouragement and advice. And so, you know, I have a wonderful vet and we're really good. So I think that definitely helps. I think being heard and knowing that everything, you know, is progressing as it should is definitely beneficial and helpful because like I said, this is something I've never experienced before. And I think it is therapeutic. And sometimes you just have to vent. Sometimes you just have to talk about things. Sometimes you just have to like, at least for me, if I don't talk about it and I hold it in, then it gets worse. It's always a better to release for me to somebody that understands it. Hello, Garbo. Welcome in. The name of the book, I haven't read it. I haven't gone through it. I just got it today. So this is Everyday Plant Magic by Rachel Cohen. I just bought it because Amazon had it on sale for like $4 and I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to try it. I'm going to read it and see what's in it. And then if it's a good book, I'll let you guys know. I need to start doing that more. I really do. I know you guys really like book reviews and want to know my thoughts. So I will eventually when I have the time. I don't know about you guys, but like when I sit and read, Yeah, for $4. Um, I need to be in the mindset. And for me, I get lost in a book, so I need to make sure I have the time to get lost and do nothing else but read. All right. That's why Audible has been a lifesaver for me. I can turn on Audible and do 5 million different things. All right, we're moving on to crystals now for the protection. So we're going to start with Tiger's Eye. I've got some tinier chips for the smaller bottles. And then we'll see how much I can fit in because I think I overfilled these. That sounds about right. I might have to go after this to give my dogs attention after we finish this up. Because I think it might be close to feed-in time. All right. So with these bigger bottles, they have a little bit wider of a neck. So that's the thing with chips. You kind of have to experiment like a puzzle and see what ones are going to fit through the neck hole. I like to give people a bang for their buck. I don't like to skimp out on stuff. I've always really enjoyed Tiger's Eye because I feel like it looks like wood, like a shiny wood. It's very comforting to me. I don't know what it is about Tiger's Eye, but I feel like it's just such a grounding, beautiful stone. So Tiger's Eye is for courage, for balance, protection, confidence, and, like I said, grounding. And now we're going to move to Labradorite. So I have smaller ones that we'll use for the smaller bottles. Lori, I understand that completely. I get it. I completely understand. I am what they call a Disney adult, I guess. So like anything Disney, I'm like a 5-year-old child. I am that meme of shut up and take my money. It's so sad. But for me, going to Disneyland is definitely an inner child healing situation. It is a chance for me to relive a lot of my childhood, and I find it very healing, except when I have to deal with big crowds. I'm really worried. I'm not gonna lie. This is like the biggest crowd that I'm going to be around since pre-pandemic. So I don't know how I'm gonna be. I don't know how I'm gonna react because already crowds give me anxiety. But we'll see. I've got stuff that I can utilize to help me through, so that's good. See what I mean about the neck and the crystals getting stuck? I might as well just toss this one. There we go. You gotta be careful about the crystals that you choose to put in the neck bottles. There we go. That one fit. And luckily, Disney now is having more places where you can buy alcohol. So, you know, one of those I should be good. I should have a better experience. But yeah, I get severe anxiety around crowds. And usually I can kind of like take care of it with just being focused on one thing and like understanding that, you know, this is how it's going to be and like, you know, we're not going to have an issue. But everything changed when the world stopped then. So now I don't know how I'm going to react. Audible does have some great tarot books. I highly suggest The Psychic Witch is on there. I have the physical copy. I'm still reading through it, but it's by Matt. Ooh, where is it? I have it here somewhere. I just dropped all my books. Cool. Okay, so this is the book, and I'll show you exactly how far I've gotten. So not very far. I've had it for 2 years. Uh, but it's a very good read. I've been enjoying it when I get the chance to sit. It's one of those books that have, I don't want to call them activities, but like you utilize the, I'll just say it, activity before you move on to the next chapter. So it's like a learning thing that you progress each chapter. So it's kind of like I have to make sure I have the time to sit through it and work through it, like kind of like a workbook. So I keep forgetting that I got to go back to that book, but it's a really good, interesting read. All right, we did labradorite for protection, bringing in light, and transformation. And next we're going to do tourmaline. I'm going to try to do the rough one that I have in here. So this is all tourmaline. We're going to see if I can put that. Yes. Some of them will fit. Some of them I'm going to have to do the shiny ones. Oh, nope. So tourmaline for protection, grounding, and calming. And then the last stone that we'll put in is amethyst. Nope. This is tedious work. Okay, stop coming out of your bottle, please. I would appreciate it if you just stayed inside. That's why I was like, oh, I'll just go live and hang out and chat while I'm doing this to kind of like make it go by a little bit quicker. I don't know if I cleanse these bottles or not. I'm so easily distracted. It's not even funny. I just get on a roll and go with it. And I think that's one of my downfalls sometimes. I need to make sure that I'm focusing. But we all love a scattered brain. All right, let me catch up with you all. Ooh, Audible for chronic migraines. That's a great idea. Oh, you're welcome, Garbo. The Kitchen Table Tarot is on my list. He just bought the book. Love Tiger's Eye too. Ooh, Metaphysical Book Club. That would be good. Ancestral Tarot is free to listen to on Audible. Huh. I feel like I saw that. It might be on my list. I found a lot of free books. There's some Deborah Blake, I believe, that are free. I'm going to have to go down my list of Audible books that I found for free. I don't know if I can figure out if they were free or not, though. All right, Amethyst, where are you? You are right here. Again, we got to pour out the model. Pour one out. So amethyst is great for protection, spirituality, and purification. It's also great for compassion, tapping into your intuition, and for self-love too. A lot of times people will utilize the amethyst for self-care and for love as well. This is an all-around great stone. It is water resistant, I'll say, so you can put it in your moon water. You can put it in water to charge and then drink the water without the crystals in it. Make sure the crystals are cleaned prior to that. There's also a lot of crystals that are not water resistant or able to be in water. So make sure if you're doing anything like that, that you are researching your crystals ahead of time. Some things like pyrite, if you put that in water, it will create sulfur. So we don't want that. So there's different ways that you can cleanse your crystals. Some of them is moon water, or you can do like running water. But again, do your research to make sure that it can handle that. If not, you can do smoke, you can do sound, you can do selenite. You can put it on selenite and let it, oh, will you fit? Will you fit? I made you fit. I have this selenite charging plate that I will put other crystals on. I also have a bowl that I will put the crystals on. So selenite is the master cleanser. It will cleanse anything that you need it to. Let's put another one in there. I think we're good. Okay, so again, clear quartz for amplification. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Aha. Oh, thanks, Lori. Oh, awesome, Miss Moonlight. See, you're on top of it. Oh, I love that, Lori. I didn't know I had a fellow 420 person up in here. All right, so we are good. We're going to cap them off. And then I have some silver wax that I put on here because I don't have black wax. There is that, what is it called? I never did a review on it that came out. It's a 420 deck. I think it's an oracle, not a tarot, from Liminal 11. I gotta get that review going. I'm always worried about certain decks. Like there's ones that I want to do videos on, but I'm worried about the subject matter, about whether or not I can put it on YouTube. But like the ones that are, you know, have stuff that I have to censor or should be not considered family friendly, I'll say. It's just limited ads, so it doesn't get pushed out to everyone. Like the one that was the most recent one, I think, was the Sephiroth one that I did. I had to do limited ads on that because there was artistic depictions of nudity. So it just depends on the subject matter, what I can show. There's one deck that I've had forever called, I think it's the Tarot of Mermaids. And they're all bare-chested, so I can't really make a video on that as much as the deck is gorgeous. I don't think I can get around that with YouTube. Everything's a little bit touchy about what I can monetize. And unfortunately, I need to be able to monetize things so I can bring you guys more content. So I kind of have to be very selective with what I can show on the videos. Oh, Q, I totally understand that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That sucks, but yeah. Completely understand. And like, it may be legal here, but like, I know work situations still like, which is ridiculous, that work can test for that too. So I totally understand the need for to not have it. See, this one lit just fine. Some of them just are a little they need a little coaxing. So we're gonna seal it. I had bought these way back when I was starting to plan our wedding, and I thought, oh yeah, we're gonna have the nice sealed waxed invitations. And then when we went to go like mail one just to see how much it would be, they're like, yeah, it's pretty much going to double the cost of your postage because of the weight of the wax. Like, it's great in principle and everything, but like it's just adding way too much onto your postage. I said, okay, so no, we're not going to do that because we were mailing all over the US. I'm like, no, we're not gonna do it. It's pretty in theory. So I had all of this extra and I didn't know what to do with it until lately because it's not like I send letters or anything of the sort. But yeah, so we still get use out of it. Me and my tangents. I just did the videos, filmed the videos of the card deck clubs. All of them are gorgeous. The new Moonology deck is really different. It is not like her other, I mean, it's similar, but it's not like her other decks at all. I am so excited about it. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more accessible for everybody because it is essentially just an oracle deck to use with your intuition. It's very cool. I'm going to use it in the September's Pick a Card, which hopefully I will be filming in the next couple of days. I think it reads really, really well. The Tree of Life Oracle is really neat. The artwork is stunning. I don't know much about the Kabbalah, so I can't really give you any information of like how accurate it is or you know, whether it is correct as far as the information goes. But it's very pretty. It makes sense to use, beginner friendly. If you don't know anything about the Kabbalah or the Tree of Life, it helps you out. You don't really need to. And then the pocket size Lightseer Tarot deck, I'm in love. So all good decks. I know some of you on here get the card deck club. So, and I think some of you already have it or will be getting it. I will be getting my, because I still have my subscription. I will be getting mine hopefully by Wednesday. And I think I might be doing a giveaway. So depending on the what's going on with Disneyland, because if I can't find anything in Disneyland, I don't know if I can't really say if I'm going to be doing a Disneyland giveaway, but I think I'm going to try to do at least one of the cards, the decks from the card deck club, since I still get my subscription, as a giveaway. I just haven't figured out like a video for it yet. So we'll see. We shall see. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up just yet because I still haven't figured anything out. But I love doing giveaways. So yeah, that'll hopefully be in the works coming up. And then I've got a bunch of other decks coming too for you guys for videos. Lots of stuff coming. Halloween's coming. Like I said earlier, Mabon's coming. So I have that this deck that I was going to do some recipes on. So I'm going to look at the Mabon specific recipes and have it listed on the community tab, which you can vote on what we do. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that live though, just because the setup might be really inconvenient for you guys. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. Let me catch up on comments. Oh, I'm glad. Now, so that's what I don't understand, Q. So is Kabbalah a form of Judaism or is it a subsect? I don't really know how that goes. And I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm putting it down or anything like that because I really don't know. I never followed it. So that's very interesting to know that that's closed. I had no idea. Yeah, Lori, the only way I can sleep now is if I'm medicated. I cannot sleep otherwise. And or if I try to, it takes forever to get to sleep. And then I am such a light sleeper with everything that I wake up right away. So if I want a good night's sleep, I have to be medicated. Oh, I'm glad, Lori. I'm glad that you like them. It's a Judaic mystical practice that was developed by rabbis and mystics. Okay, cool. So is that the one? Listen to me sound really ignorant. Please correct me if I am wrong. But is this the one that like all the celebrities in the early 2000s had like been obsessed with when they started wearing like the red string bracelet? I think Madonna was really into it at one point. Yeah, I'm not all for co-opting anything. I think you guys all know where I stand with all of that. But yeah, I didn't know that it was a closed practice. Because if it's a closed practice, then like it needs to stay closed practice. And that's the thing, like I love learning about anything and everything new and that I've not known about. So like when you guys tell me things like this, I'm like my brain lights up. It's so exciting. I am so intrigued. Okay, cute. Okay, cool. I thought so. That sounded familiar. Yeah, just like most things that have been around forever, right? Like you want to take the time and the respect that it deserves to study it. Ooh, Miss Moonlight getting those nice deals. Yeah, cute. I understand. Like if that is, something that is offensive for you, like absolutely, that's valid. Look at Ash. Real tarot as in the tarot deck, or real tarot as in like, oh my gosh, it's not counterfeit tarot. Because I have that one. Where did it go? Somewhere in my pile of decks to be reviewed. Where did you go? Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. Way on the bottom. This one? Real Talk Tarot? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, this one is a to be to be filmed deck. I have a lot going on. I have a whole like cart of decks that I've got to get to. But a lot of it is like old decks that I have accumulated that weren't necessarily new releases when I bought them. So it's like, I don't want to do them right now. All right. It has been over 2 hours, you guys. Oh my gosh. I am not going to lie. I am tired. Was this fun for you guys? Should I do more videos like this live? Oh, is the new copy of that really good now? The new cardstock? Because yeah, the first one is so flimsy. I was very shocked when I unboxed that. The Real Anatomy Tarot is gorgeous. It's one of my favorite decks to bring out around this time of year because of the vibes. But yeah, that cardstock is not it. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm drinking my water bottle. Hydrate, Natasha. I gotta remind myself to do that. There's like a meme TikTok sound that's like I'm the drink goblin or something, or I have my 3 drinks, one for hydration, one for fun, and one for caffeine. And I'm like, that hits so home. I have my water and I have my Celsius drink right now, close by. And I always go for the caffeinated drink. I had coffee earlier. I had 2 tumblers full. And the way that caffeine affects me, it doesn't. It just makes me feel normal. Like, I get envious over the people who drink like one energy drink and are super like, okay, let's go, let's do the thing. I'm like, all right, like, what's going on? Totally still asleep. Um, okay, so I can do the rosemary wrap soon. I've got to, I think, harvest a little bit more of the rosemary. I try not to take too much at one time from my plant because I had to transplant my other two rosemary bushes and they're like dying. So I have like one really healthy one left that I'm nurturing. Um, so I'm trying not to cut off too much. But yeah, I like doing these lives because they're totally chill. There's no like pressure. It's totally unprofessional. I like doing these videos because it's like hanging out with my friends. This is like something that I would do with my buddies. We'd hang out and just do little crafty projects like this and go off on so many different tangents. This is me. What you see is what you get, and I really like being able to do this kind of video with you guys because it's hard to do something like this by yourself and film it sometimes when you just want to chill. Yeah, so totally unprompted. I'm sorry if you guys are watching this back and you're like, what the heck was this live? Yeah. Yeah, I struggle with catching up with chat and then doing what I'm doing on the video. It's hard. It's a struggle. I'm trying to get better at just going live because I feel like all the time being on YouTube, you have to be super professional and super, on, quote unquote. Um, and most of the time, I don't have the energy to be super on all the time. And so, uh, if you guys have the chronic fatigue and all that stuff, you understand, like, it's hard to be in that mindset. So some days like this where it's like I want to reach out and be with the community, but at the same time it's like I cannot, be very yeah, I'll just say it again, on. So it's nice to be able to have these type of lives where we can just be casual and hang out and not have to like worry about anything, and be just chill. Like we're hanging out and having fun on the porch or whatever. I don't know. But not having the constant downloads, that's nice. Because a lot of the times when I get on for the reading lives, my head, oh my gosh, I don't know how tarot streamers can stream and do that for 8 hours. It is overwhelming for me to do more than 2 hours. I get brain fatigue. So it's nice to be able to hang out with you guys like this and just be chill. And then those times when I'm feeling good and alert to handle all of the readings, I'm totally down for that too. So we're gonna do the cooking poll. Stay tuned in the community tab. Hopefully your alerts are on for the videos and the notifications and all of that. I know YouTube is funny and doesn't do it for some people. Poor Miss Ron does not get notified at all. So I don't know if it's the turn it on and off again stuff where you can shut off the notifications and turn it back on to see if it like reboots itself in that way. But yeah, I definitely thank you guys for hanging out with me and doing projects. I like doing this stuff. And I will be on Whatnot tomorrow at noon. Yes, noon. And then on the 31st for sure at 12:45 Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to come over and hang out and see what I've got, awesome. Love to have you there. If not, cool too. No pressure. And just like with everything on my channel, no pressure. We're just vibing together, having a good time. So thank you all for hanging out with me. I didn't expect that many people to come in and have fun. So Have a wonderful rest of your day. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have not done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. Make sure your notifications are on and check that community tab because I do tend to post a lot over there with this season coming up. So be warned. All right, everyone. I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great one. Bye-bye.